Hello, thanks for joining us today. I'm Anna Ranieri and this is Camilla Olson. And we're two women who like to help people visualize and achieve success in our different ways, which we'll tell you about. And we have today some tips for you that we want to share to help you get started on that.
And our goal is to help you visualize and express your own confidence.
So why are the two of us here to talk about visualizing success? Well, it's partly because each of us has had to visualize her own success in going through our own career paths. For example, I majored in comparative literature in college. I worked for a couple of years, then I got an MBA in marketing. I worked in the corporate world, and as I did, I began to think about the psychology of how people work together. I went back to school for degrees in psychology and began practicing as a psychologist and a career coach and executive coach. Camilla, too, has had a varied career path.
For me, my background is started in microbiology, and I built several biomedical businesses. I was a venture capitalist. And then I went back and did a master's in fashion design and started my own label. And it was when I was trying to sell clothes to professional women that I realized there was an opportunity to help women feel more confident.
The first step in visualizing your success is to get to know yourself, to really be able to think about who you are, what you know how to do, and what your goals are going forward. You want to assure that once you know those goals, that what you say and do and how you present yourself really help you to move towards those goals. You want to be effective in knowing yourself and demonstrating the strengths that you already have. In this process of getting to know yourself, what you'll be able to do is what I call connecting the dots. To be able to bring together your own individual and unique career and personal path, to be able to understand and explain to others your skills, your strengths that have come from very different parts of your experience. You want to consider all the sources of those experiences, those skills, those strengths. Are you, for example, the relationship builder at home, at school, or at work? Are you the person who reaches out to help people, the helper in whatever setting you find yourself? Or maybe are you perhaps the problem solver, someone who likes to delve into deep issues and figure out a solution? As you think of those general terms, it's no longer about a particular position or a particular job title. It's about what you've learned in the many ways that you've engaged with issues, with people, with projects. Once you have gotten to know yourself and your goals and to clarify where you want to go, the first part is the here and now. Really looking at what you want and what you already know how to do so you can utilize that. The next part will be your willingness to learn so that as you go forward, you can add to your strengths and your skills. So as you work to move forward, you want to be able to think about taking both the safe actions and some bold actions. The safe actions are things you already know how to do and are good at doing. You want to bring those into play. But you often have to push yourself towards those bold actions, the ones that will make a difference but aren't easy to get started on. Consider the safe actions you know and get going with those. And then you may have to use some positive self-talk to achieve your bold actions, telling yourself, I can do this. It's not easy, but I will learn to do it and I can be successful at doing it. For example, one of the things I talk with my clients and students about is the idea of being the situational extrovert. If you're an introvert like me, you may often prefer to be sitting at home with a good book and a cup of tea, but for those times when you need to be out there talking with people and working to build relationships, you have to be that situational extrovert. Telling yourself, I can do it, I can push myself forward, and then at the end of that day, I'll be at home with that cup of tea.
How you're perceived by others is critical. Their perception of you is their reality. For example, people might perceive that I'm timid, I'm soft-spoken, but I'm pretty strong in what I want to do and where I want to go, and I'm confident about that. How you can do that is go to your closet and look in there, and what do you see? Do you have cutoffs from college still in your closet? Maybe, Anna? No?
Well, I can't say that, but there's a certain number of other things that don't really go with
Don't,
my
right.
current profession.
Yeah. Well, you might find things like that too. Maybe a fanny pack or some surfing shorts from the past. What we're really trying to say is, does your closet reflect who you were or where you want to go? Does any of your closet reflect where you want to go? So when you look at a clear closet and it's a mishmash, what do? Well, the first thing you do is you go to the internet and you download a checklist of a wardrobe, what the minimum basic what you should have. And we have two versions, a minimum version and then a full version. And then we have a trend version. So your closet should be 80% core items and then 20% of the trend items. Now, let's get back to your closet. So when you're looking in there, take every item out, look at it, examine it. Does it fit you still? Can you still put your pants on? Or maybe they're too big. That would be great. So get 3 piles. One pile are the ones that are ready to wear. They're in good condition, and they fit you, and they're appropriate for your future. And then the second pile are those that could be in that first pile, but they need mending or hemming to be the right length. And the third pile is the pile that really won't work, and you give them away so other people can use them and benefit. So you've taken that inventory of your closet. Now you want to take kind of an inventory of yourself and understand what your body shape is. What silhouette of clothing will look good on you? It sounds hard, and how do you do that? Well, we've developed tools that make that really easy, and you can download them complimentary from us to use. So get a trusted friend and have that person help measure you, and you can compare that to some information to figure out what your body shape is. And then look at another tool to see what silhouette looks good on that body shape. The second thing you can do is make sure you have a tailor who can work with you and alter your clothes. Make them the right length on the hem and make them fit you the right way, and you'll look so much better. Let's talk about color. I take a purist approach to color. Okay, Anna, look at the colors. So look at her eyes. They're hazel, they're brown and green, and she's got brown eyebrows, and her skin complexion has a little bit, I think, of peach in it, and her lips are pink, and it's surrounded by some beautiful silver. So Anna will know that when she goes to the store, if any item is in her accepted silhouette and in these colors, they'll look great on her. So it's easy to remember because you can just look in the mirror and compare the item with you.
I want to emphasize that learning, the willingness to learn, is certainly key to wherever it is that we want to go. For myself, for example, each time I went back to school, I had to be the person willing to ask the dumb questions. I was learning something new, and I couldn't assume that I had all the information I needed until I asked, and I would do well each time. Camilla, who went from being a scientist and a business owner to gaining an MFA in fashion design, really had to be willing to learn as well.
Yeah, so when I went back to school, I was really moving away from my left brain dominance to the right brain. And so I was totally lost, and all the classmates who were like way younger had spent their life doing art and fashion design. So I just sucked everything I could out of each instructor. And that was the way that I was able to move forward so well, is because I gathered a lot of information from everyone I knew.
A very effective way to communicate with people is through storytelling, being able to tell your story so that they understand you, and being able to hear their story so that you understand and can work best with them. Connecting the dots is something that's a real interest of mine, this idea of being able to put that story together. It's something I wrote an article about for the Harvard Business Review. It's something that with my co-author I'm working on a book on, and it's something that I talk with my clients about very frequently. It seems to be a new movement out there too, as other people realize that we have varied lives, varied careers, and we have to create that story, connect those dots. For example, perhaps someone is a translator like me. When I was a comp lit major, I enjoyed translating from one language to another. When I was in marketing and institutional development, I enjoyed translating what it is that a project or a product would do for someone and why they'd want to support it or to buy it. And then when I became a psychologist and career counselor, I was helping people translate themselves to others for their career success and also translate ideas to them for their own benefit. So I'm a translator, no matter what the field I find myself in, unlike Camilla, who is a real change maker and a really creative person in a variety of different settings.
That's true. Everywhere I go, I always have little tweaks of how to, oh, you could do this. And I try to control it when I meet new people because they're in a business and I'll think of how they could change it and improve it. And that's why I've started 7 companies. So Anna, I was wondering, you're a translator, I'm a change maker. How does that affect our relationship? Let's say we work together. How would you use that information once you determine that I'm a translator?
I think our own ability to connect the dots, to tell our stories, help us understand where our strengths are, where our skills are really prominent. And then as we work together, we can divvy up the task more effectively and more efficiently by saying, wow, that's something that you would do well. This is something that I would do well. And by doing that, we can do the things we most enjoy and most contribute with, and having a product that really is better for both of them.
Once you've got your fact-finding done, you want to go to the next step and show who you are. We want to find a visual role model, and that's someone who is a step above you, somewhere you would like to emulate because you want to be in that position, right? So you don't want to just copy her, but look at her. What's she wearing, what she wears when, what's that sense of style? And try and emulate that in your context. So her sense of style, but the silhouette and the color that works for your body. Sheryl Sandberg in these images gives you a sample of that. She's always wearing dark at the bottom half of her, and there's a point around her chest, upper chest, that draws your eye up. And what she's telling you is, don't pay attention to my body. Pay attention to what I'm thinking and what I'm saying. Find your visual role model, analyze what she's wearing, adapt it to your situation and your silhouette and your color. And you'll find that you are on the next step to your future. Take into consideration context, where you're going to be and whom you're going to be speaking with. So, for example, in the photograph that you're seeing, they obviously would not fit, let's say, at headquarters in the middle of Atlanta or at a store in Chicago, but in the San Francisco Mission District, at the free clinic, they're dressed exactly how they should be to gain the trust of their clients. Geography plays an important role too. In this image, you'll see Elon Musk, the founder, the CEO of Tesla, And he's standing what you would expect to see in Silicon Valley. Well, he's wearing a jacket that may be unusual, but he's wearing that jacket with a button-up shirt, but it's open at the neck, and there's, of course, no tie. And notice the hot car in the background. Silicon Valley all over. And then its next photograph, you'll see Mark Fields. He's the CEO of Ford Motor Company. And he's all buttoned up, very conservative. Even WWD, Women's Wear Daily, gives him an A for his style. How do you translate all this into for women? In looking at geography, notice how women dress in different cities or countries, and then see if you want to adapt that into your style. Let's say Dallas. Most women, or a lot of women, they're known for having kind of higher hair than we would find in Silicon Valley. And I think they wear more jewelry too. And in many places, you'll look at the heel height. So in New York, when women are in the office, I think a lot of them do wear heels. But when they're transporting themselves between home and office, they'll be wearing flats and running fast. So you can take all of this consideration into your wardrobe too.
So from knowing yourself and understanding your story, being willing to learn and try something new, you may find that your confident self is there and ready for you. People will often ask, how do you display confidence in different settings? Well, your confident self when it comes to a social event might be that situational extrovert that I talk about. That person who, even if they tend to be a quiet person, can muster up the energy for that setting to ask questions and to listen to someone else. By starting that conversation at a party, everyone likes to be asked questions about themselves, you then develop a relationship there during that social event, which makes it much more comfortable and helps you feel much more confident in that setting.
Right.
At a business event, the idea is to act like, speak like, look like the professional you want to be there. It's also true that when we're asked to be on stage or giving a talk or in front of a classroom, we hope that we're coming through as our confident selves so we can help you to be your confident self.
The best way to learn how to look and be your confident self is to assess the style of others. And really look at them closely, what they're wearing, how they wear it, does it suit their body shape, and look at the coloring. And don't do it just once or twice. You want to do it a lot of times, and then you'll naturally be able to get it with a quick glance. So let's show what that looks like. I'm looking at Michelle Obama. She's my favorite in this context because she's so well photographed and she's in many different situations. As First Lady, she has to really be of service to other people. So she's always impeccably dressed. The clothes fit her body really well. They're vibrant colors that really make her stand out. There's no question of her authenticity. And really, authenticity is the litmus test of your confident self. Another example is Kate Middleton. She's always impeccably dressed also. Typically, you'll find her in neutral colors or pale colors that complement her coloring. So when you follow these women, or women like these, you're not doing it for a voyeuristic purpose. You're doing it for education, to train yourself on how to express your confidence. For example, let's say one of the pictures here, Kate's wearing a fit and flare dress. That works with her body shape. So take a dress, something like that in your silhouette that works for you. And don't stop there. Look at her accessories, her purse, her shoes, and her jewelry. And you can mimic her and find similar items that aren't so expensive, and you can mimic her style.
So when you know yourself and you know your goals and you've thought about showing who you are through what you say and do and even your appearance, then a lot of energy can come from that. The issues that I'm often asked about are around maintaining some kind of work-life balance and achieving some effective time management so you can continue to do what you do well and continue to do it even better. These are things I've thought about and talked with clients about and written about.
You can find these articles on the site so you can find out more yourself.
And one of the ways that we have to think about time management and work-life balance is managing something like your wardrobe. And Camilla has some expertise on that.
It's really easy to incorporate work-life balance in your wardrobe. Here's a big difference in how most people arrange their wardrobe. Stores are focused on lifestyle clothing. And what we're emphasizing is focus on your work first. Make sure you have the wardrobe to get to where you want to go. And then maybe get a couple of pieces that complement these to make them work in your lifestyle. So here's an example of work-life balance in a wardrobe. Your jacket blazer, for example, you can wear it with jeans. You don't have to always wear it fancy or formal for the office. Your dresses, they can be dressed down. Even a really nice dress can be dressed down by putting on a belt, wearing it with flats or with boots, or adding a sweater tunic. A skirt can be worn with an oversized tunic and really dress it down for a more casual Saturday. And pants, of course, can be worn with a sweater or even a t-shirt. You can really rock that in lots of ways. Wearing a shirt, you can repurpose that as a jacket or tie it around your waist to give another look. So think creatively about how to use your clothes and wear them in more than one situation. You know, my best tip for you is to develop a uniform. For example, there's a CEO here in Silicon Valley, and she was recently interviewed. There's a controversy going on. And at the end of the interview, they asked the question, "Why do you always wear a black turtleneck?" And she said, "To level the playing field." And it's really funny, just by coincidence, Anna and I came today with black turtlenecks. So my best tip for you is to discover your own uniform. See those pieces that you love to wear and are feeling really confident. For me, I think it's a black skirt. I always grab that. But you can find your own uniform. And what's really interesting is there's so many people out there in the public that have a uniform, and you can, if you pay attention, you can notice it. So find your uniform. And then when you have to go to something at the last minute, or you have a high profile situation coming up, make sure it includes your uniform, and then you'll feel more confident and comfortable. We hope you come back often to Savitude.com. We have so many tools and products that we're preparing for you to help you be your confident self.
Thanks for being here today. I hope it's been helpful for you to think about who you are and to clarify your goals. And by what you're saying and doing and how you appear to others, making sure you demonstrate that person you are as well as the person you want to be. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.